Good evening. Happy Monday.
Good evening, Sneezy. Happy Monday. How you doing today?
Uh, Fantastic. What a day. What a bullish day. So much alpha came
Bullish,
out, some great spaces. Just a bullish day.
bullish day, bullish weekend. There's just a lot of
Just
things
keeps getting
cooking.
better, man. It just keeps getting better.
Every week we come back and we just say, "Wow, docket's pretty full," and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I'm excited for what we got going on and what we're going to be reviewing and jumping through today.
Oh, dude, I told you I left it a little bit light just because what we do have, like, there's just so much meat on the bone this week. Like, there's just so much to talk about. There's always so much to talk about. There's so much to dive into to really get into
Yeah,
nitty gritty.
yeah. It's gonna be, man. I don't know how this space is gonna go, but I mean, episode 14, I'm excited to jump into it, to say the least. And whatever comes to it, I think is gonna be amazing, considering what we have lined up to talk about. So let's do it. I mean, if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. We are Aptos After Dark, where we discuss everything going on Aptos over the past week, every single week, with awesome people joining us each and every week. Hosted by myself, Atreyu, and Sneezy. Welcome.
What's up? Welcome to Aptos After Dark. I'm gonna hit you with a disclaimer. Nothing this evening is gonna be financial advice. It's just a bunch of people talking about cool stuff going on in the ecosystem. If you're interested in anything we're talking about, do your own research, but get a Petra wallet and explore.
Dude, let's do it. Amazing. I think we're getting these down pretty good nowadays. So let's go. That's something worth celebrating. Um, man, how do we feel like? Oh yeah, by the way, what the heck? I thought I pinned episode 13 to the top to the Aptotron, but didn't look like it doesn't look like it's showing. Unless I'm rugging here, but
It's up there.
we
You got
it
her.
is up. Oh, okay. So it's just me then. Fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
that's gonna be all night. That's gonna be rough.
No, I'm gonna definitely be trying to. Okay, now I see it. I don't know. Just Elon doing Elon stuff. But anyway, just a really quick subtlety here is we are on uh, YouTube and we are producing shorts now. So if you are interested and you can make it to the space and somehow you do want to catch up and listen to all of the episodes in progress over the past few weeks, this is episode 14. All 14 episodes are on YouTube. Throw us some love if you enjoy and want to support with a like, a comment, a subscribe, any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's probably it as far as our what's going on with Aptos After Dark. Do you want to add anything else, Sneezy, or is that pretty good?
So I think we're good to go. Do you want to?
Let's
I say
do
we
it,
just dive in. What do you want to
dude.
start with? The state of Aptos Q1, or do you want to start
Yeah,
with some Christina Tinto?
I mean, Christina Tinto is, I think,
I
how
mean, it's
we've been
kind of what
starting.
we do. It's kind of
It's
what we
almost
do. Let's go
tradition.
to Christina. Let's go to Christina.
Let's go, Christina. You want to throw something up, or do you want me to throw something up here? What do we?
I'll go find one.
Let's
What do we
let's do
got?
it. Christina Tinto is always coming out, throwing us amazing information about the ecosystem of Aptos and what's going on. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot
Oh,
talking
this
about.
one's no big deal. This one's no big deal.
Okay, okay.
No big deal. Just a cool 1.5 billion volume bridge.
Oh boy, talking about the ecosystem heating up. I mean, just a cool 1.5 bill.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
I
So
was
we,
looking through doing the notes for the show, and I saw one that you had sent me, and it was like 15 million, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. So I clicked on it, and I forget who it was underneath. I think it was Zactos, or maybe even been Greg, but they were like, I don't know if you're counting layer zero, because they're like we're well into the billions.
1.5 billion volume bridged. Yeah, I would say that's a milestone. I mean, Christina puts it in her tweet, 1.5 billion volume bridged milestone has been achieved. The momentum keeps surging on Aptos. I mean, yeah, you could say 1.5 billion is a milestone. It's pretty incredible.
Yo,
Holy cow.
that's crazy. Last week, 65.4K bridges, and there was almost 29.6K people using the bridge. Just awesome numbers, man.
Just amazing. I mean, it does set us up in a very good spot here. I think we had one more to talk about when it comes to the ecosystem before we go over quarter growth, which is by Hamed. I'm gonna pin that one, dude. These two particularly, Hamed and Christina Tinto, are absolute legends. Like, I love starting this space every week talking about this data. I don't know, man. It gets me so bullish to go into the rest of the episode.
What is that Ahmed? Is that how you say that? I've been saying Oxham this whole time.
I have no idea. Again, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. I know. I would imagine it's maybe it is, but either way, his tweet here, if you're just listening in, goes through the last week as well. 351,000 unique users, 142,000 net new users. Yes, this is correct. 11.1 million plus transactions and over 22,400 NFT sales with 8,700 buyers and sellers. Like, whew, these are big numbers. We're in the big numbers here, ladies and gentlemen. This is
okay, just in like Web3 fashion, I gotta say that the new users is down from last week.
Oh boy.
I mean, this wouldn't be a Web3 space if we didn't pick apart some of the numbers.
I mean, this is like, the moment where we point at Greg and say, devs, please help us do something.
Would the devs do something?
Oh my god. Devs do something. Oh my gosh. It's down 142,000.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Take a look at our latest fun stuff around the comparison of median and then latencies. That's the latest news.
Oh, I saw that. The official tweet. We can jump to that.
Yes.
I was going to talk about that a little bit later. But
when
you've got the horses, when you've got like we got it right from the horse's mouth right now. I don't know. You gonna be around for a little while, Greg? How long do we got you for?
Yeah, you gonna hang out with us, Greg, or are we jumping into this now?
I'm gonna hang out. I'm just doing some coding while I listen to you guys, talk your stuff.
Oh heck yeah! Okay, then in that case, we're definitely gonna talk about this. By the way, if you're gonna hang with us for a second. Okay, Greg's gonna hang out with us.
It does kind of tie in because the next one I was going to post was Aizen's post about the gas fees.
Oh, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
So it might be a nice tie-in.
Okay. We do got to circle back to quarter over quarter though, because that's insane.
Okay, let's do that first. Let's go quarter after quarter. Then we'll hit gas fees, and then we'll tie into end-to-end latencies.
Let's freaking go. Okay, just posting to the top now. Tweet from Mazzari with the state of Aptos Q1 2024. And they just go over with quarter over quarter metrics and just showing some of the data with DEX volume, stablecoin market cap, and DeFi TVL. There's a full report and everything, so we're just going to go through the top metrics that they have in this post. But if you are curious, obviously pin to the Aptotron and we'll be in the roundup here. But really quickly, the key update that they share is user experience improvements via the Jamba phone launch, which is pretty interesting tie together there. Keyless and passkey accounts and sponsored transactions. I'm sure there's like a lot more that we could probably update when it comes to updates, but that's their consideration for key updates, which is pretty interesting. Anything to note there, Sneezy, before we just like jump into these ridiculous quarter over quarter numbers? Like what do you kind of agree with those key updates?
The DEX volume, that's insane.
Okay, so let's go into the metrics.
Because that's like the NFTs are cool and all that, but like the DEX usage being up 512%, like.
Well, that's the thing, right?
That's real usage coming over. Like that's people that are tying up money here.
The quarter over quarter metrics, DEX volume up 512%. For those listening, not able to see this tweet right now. The stablecoin market cap volume up 96%. Again, this is just quarter over quarter, so very short time windows here. And then DeFi TVL volume up 376%. Okay, I agree, Sneezy. This DEX volume is bananas. It's just like real usage is an understatement. I think
that's people realizing that they can come to Aptos and trade for a fraction of the cost and
I think
a fraction of the speed.
And
That's what that tells me.
What do you see? Just like increase pretty much usage by some insane margin here. Yeah, I think this is insane to look at. This chart, if anyone's curious, is just looking like many of the other charts that we talk about with Aptos on this weekly space, like kind of the beginning of an exponential curve, which is always insane just to look at. So yeah, exciting to say the least. That is insane. Dang. Okay. I am curious if anyone does read that full report and wants to throw in some comments or anything into the space. Let us know. We can always jump back to this, but that's it. Yeah, I mean, these are insane numbers. Stablecoin market cap up 96%, DeFi volume up, TBL volume up 376. That's another one, right? TBL. I think that's something that we're talking about. We have a lot of protocols that are helping, I think, push this up into the right. No.
Oh, 100%. Shout out to Amnish. Shout out to Selena. Who else?
Merkle. Does Merkle help on this?
No, Merkle would.
Yeah,
Merkle's help towards TBL.
Like you just have to think, yeah, any DeFi protocol, whether it be providing liquidity pooling or borrowing, all of those. So they all mean something. Echelon, Dalo, Aries,
Vibrant,
Solana,
Superposition.
Vibrant, Superposition, all of them, you name it.
There's a lot of people cooking in this area, and I mean, like, I think that's pretty awesome to see just how much TBL has gone up in pretty much one quarter, right? So shout out to the teams that are just basically helping make it easier for people to use, and clearly the adoption and the trends are following it from usage and TBL just like kind of doing its thing. It's awesome. All right, Sneezy, I see you posted it. Aptos gas fees versus EVMs. Jump in. Let's do this. If you're not, Sneezy, you're muted, by the way, but if you are looking at this.
He's too busy sneezing.
I know. I was about to spill the word.
Trey, you nailed it. You nailed it. I was full on, like, had my professor hat on. And I just said, oh, that's us all the way over there, all the way to the right, the very bottom with the lowest gas fee. Yeah, this is going to turn into a town hall real quick. We got too many legends requesting my storage.
Yeah, you got Fischer up here. You got Baba. You got Denoshi. Wow, you guys got Peeker. You got a lot of people on here now.
Let's go. I think we're going to be pivoting.
This might get derailed. This might get derailed. This might turn into a town hall. We haven't had to do one of those in a while.
I'm not opposed. I'm all about it. Let's go.
Yo, Greg, are we making this happen or what?
The minglets? I gotta, move some stuff around or think about it.
If you give me the go-ahead to burn 50 apps worth of shrimp in your wallet, I'll send it to you.
I don't think I actually have that much in my wallet.
Oh, fuck.
It was just a suggestion on the shrimp side because
it's good. We should do that because then I can post something on Twitter. We can make a little marketing stunt out of it. Be like the first burn to trade whatever on Aptos. It'll be good.
Burn to trade. That's a new one. Yeah, let me go see how much shrimp I got.
Hell yeah.
Yo, Greg's never gonna come back to one of my spaces. You coming up here, first thing you do is corner him about a trade.
I mean, that's you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I mean, we did call it out in the very beginning. Devs do something, and Fisher's coming up. What's up, Fisher?
Yeah,
I don't have
another huge burn.
So I got a dip, but just wanted to come say hi. Love what you guys are doing, and of course, Greg, let's make it happen. Get some more.
You're dipping out. What is this?
Yo, literally drive-by, just a drive-by. Greg,
wow.
Fucking burn it. Bye.
It's a fucking drive-by.
I need a minglet.
Yo, shout out.
Hell yes.
Congratulations. I get it, man. It must be addictive burning that shrimp because you guys had another big burn tonight. I get it. You just want to keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. We want to have nothing left in like a year and a half, 2 years. There should be no shrimp left in the fucking circulation at all. It's fucking gone with it all.
Shrimp at the bargain, man.
That's one way to not have to deal with it. Because now you're like, this is an experiment.
Oh, I mean, Sneezy, you just pinned it at the top.
Oh, it's a big burn.
Big burn.
A ton. They burned a ton. 1.7 million shrimp. totaling 89,000 USD.
Roughly 7.77% of the entire circulating supply. Let's go. Greg's about to burn another 50 apps worth. No biggie.
I'm getting there. You guys move on.
He's like a Fisher left. You can stop talking about this now.
he already went up. He already left. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. I love this space. All right, so going back before we just got side run. EVM or gas fees, Sneezy. What is for those that aren't looking at this amazing graph here with the reverse bar chart, what is the most expensive gas fee in this chart versus where Aptos is? Just paint the picture.
So it says gas fees, Aptos gas fees versus EVM. So they start at Avalanche as the highest at
Which is,
26
by the way,
cents a transaction.
Kind of crazy. It's starting with Avalanche as NL2.
It's just like, I guess above that is like not worth tracking to compare to Aptos.
That's like
they're gonna put ETH on there, $32 versus 0.007 cents.
If you're lucky.
I think that's the big takeaway there. The cheapest, they're starting with Avalanche at 0.26 for gas. And it only goes lower from there. So yeah, I mean, it goes Avalanche, Base, Binance, Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, and then the very last and the very bottom, it's like a half of a half of Polygon is Aptos at 0.007. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I mean, just to put the comparison out there visually, I think kind of, I don't know, really drilled the point to me, at least, Kind of insane.
Yeah, which ties in beautifully to what you're paying for with that gas fee.
What you paying for?
Sub-second end-to-end transaction latency.
No way. Flawless. Craig, you want to talk about sub-second latency?
Sub-second latency. Yeah, let's talk about it. Well, so you guys probably saw the report from Aptos Labs on sub-second latency, and there's always some miscommunication or like fun marketing stuff with that. But the important thing here is actually sub-second median latency. So from there, what we often call in statistics P50 as the absolute middle transaction speed of all the transactions at any given time. So in that case, you're looking at it is below a second on Aptos. And then we actually did comparisons against a bunch of different other blockchains. I'm sorry if your favorite blockchain or whatever isn't on there, but we chose a whole bunch of them based on different use cases, and then they all do basically the same thing. And it's kind of hard because blockchains all have like different little things associated with them. I actually was working on this at Facebook before I left to look at how Instagram or any of those would deal with NFTs or coin transfers and see how they would actually compare across blockchains. And it's really hard because they all just do something different. But some of the great engineers at Aptos actually went through and did the hard work to see like a pretty fair comparison between all of them and look at the P50 there, and you can see that Aptos is at the bottom, which is, with latency, that's the only thing where you want to be at the bottom. Everything else you usually want to be at the top.
The last two charts we've shown are the only ones you want to be at the bottom of. Transaction fee and transaction speed.
It's the few charts we're rooting for it to go down into the right as far as
Yeah, and these guys actually have done a lot of good work over the last few releases to bring the latency even further down, things that they can do to speed it up, because it just makes sense, right? The end-to-end latency and the median latency is what you might feel as an actual user. Versus, I've heard some fun things about some other networks that I won't talk about, where sometimes they take a long time, or I wouldn't say ETH just because, it's not like I'm picking on anyone specific. Every time I try to submit a transaction on ETH via like MetaMask, it takes forever. It costs like, $70, I think was the last time I updated my ENS name, and I haven't done it since because I didn't want to pay another $70. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm just burning money. But it's still like, it doesn't tell you what's gonna happen, so you have to kind of just guess or get another extension to tell you. And then if it does run, then you have to go and wait like a few seconds, and maybe you have to go and check the Explorer to see if it went through, and it's weird.
Well, and that's, I think what you said is that's what we feel as the end users. I'm a perfect example of not a tech person. I am a user of blockchain technology, but I'm not well versed in the technical backings behind it. What I do know is that when I go to my Petra wallet and I send GUI to somebody, or I send Aptos, or I send an NFT, it shows me that it's like 1.2 seconds to send an NFT. That's what I see as the end user. Doesn't matter what you say you can do. That's what I see as someone using the chain.
Yeah, that real experience, right, is what happens to all of you guys, not just people making
Not
bots
just
to
the devs doing
trade.
a test in the background. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, for honestly, like sub-second, once you get to sub-second, none of you guys are ever going to notice the difference. Right? Like,
I definitely noticed the first time you guys got sub-second though, I feel. Or like you were approaching that, you know what I mean? Like it was noticeable. Even when we got to like 1.5, I was like, holy cow, this is like insane. This is insane. And now we're below a second. I guess those incrementals is what you're getting to, is like we might not notice as end users, but
yeah, I think like at this point, right? Like up to about a second or so, I think you all can notice, and maybe you can notice like a half a second versus a second. But after that, like as a real user, your computer might be slower than you notice that, right? Like these sub-second latencies are good for, especially like if you're through a VPN or you're in a country where the network isn't quite as good. It could take longer than that. But the whole point is, if we can bring it down to sub-second for the ideal case, if you are in a place where the network is worse, or you're going through a VPN or whatever it is, that speed will be greatly increased. Like if as some of the like updates that I did for this in the past, I saw like a change from like 5 seconds to 2 seconds, because the amount of data that's sent over the wire every time is a lot slower, right? And that I was like VPNing to, I think, Argentina to try to slow down my network and test it out.
yeah, that's huge. It's easy. You have your hand raised.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, for now, we don't notice it as end user. And I think that's because some of the use cases for that sub-second latency are still being built out literally as we're having this conversation. And I'm thinking about a lot of the games and that kind of stuff where they're trying to implement in real time on-chain transactions. That's where, again, as end users, we will see that. Just we won't see it in a wallet, but we'll see it because we'll have a seamless gaming experience.
Yeah, you're right about that, because like there's different types of games. Like if you, let's say, had a casino, right? You pull the lever and it spins, so you got all this time to wait for it to actually happen. But if you're doing something that's more real time, that speed actually does matter, and it does come into play. And it's funny because like I think people talk about TPS a lot, and it is true for being able to have a lot of people play at the same time. But you as a user, if it's like one transaction after another and you're waiting for the previous one to happen and it takes too many seconds, for like it's basically impossible. You end up having to batch it up or do something over a long period of time.
Absolutely
Like
crushes the user experience.
yeah, I mean, like even imagine if you're playing chess and you had to wait a minute between every move. Like, why would you want that?
Yeah. It's like blockchain's got enough difficulties being adopted, and then you have to wait like an extra minute to then experience something just for it being on chain. And you're just like, oh, so it's like this is like reducing that barrier for adoption in some sense for use cases that have that, like you require that high or certain user experience, right? So now this is no longer a friction point that otherwise has been in the past.
100%. I think,
Freaking awesome.
okay. So one of the things I love about Aptos and the dev team behind it, and shout out to Greg for being here so we can give him flowers. And I said it in the monkey space earlier today. We get to give all the NFT chads all kinds of love because they always hang out, but very rarely do we get an opportunity to shout out the dev team in person and tell you guys, like, keep up the awesome work, keep doing what you're doing, keep making cool shit. But my point in saying that is you guys aren't done. Like, I see Avery posting about faster and listening to you guys talk in the space about the Million NFT mint happening tomorrow. Like, does it need to happen right now? No, but for us to be able to deliver cool shit in the future, not only do we need to do this, we need to do 10 times cooler than this. And we're not going to stop until we can do that.
Always
And
more,
I think
man.
that's just fucking bullish attitude.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I like to always shout out for you guys. I feel like you guys do this every week, multiple times a week, actually, without really any particular reasons. If you guys want to hang out and talk to the folks and be involved, and Atreyu reaches out to me once in a while and asks me about something he wants to build, and Sneezy asked me about NFTs that I probably have forgotten about. So I love to hear from you guys. It's Move Mondays were a bit of a lot of work for me, so I cut them out. But you guys have been asking for it, so maybe they'll come back.
So I hope so. I like what Sham was talking about, kind of like a hybrid, like a mix of some of the NFT chads and some of the DeFi chads and some of the high level tech chads.
Yeah, the hardest part was getting all the people on and organizing it for that many people. I did it a couple times where I tried to get some NFT projects on, but everyone's in different time zones. And that, like you guys, right? Like, this is a nice time for me. It's like a 5 p.m. easy, but obviously this is like the worst possible time for someone who lives in, say, India, where I think it's like 5 a.m. or maybe 3 a.m. or something.
Not even, yeah, I was going to say, I think it's like 4 a.m. currently.
And I feel like I try to keep these things in the morning because it's morning for me because we're the furthest away, and it tends to be the best time for globally, especially because I don't want to leave anybody out. Except even if I do it at like 7 a.m., it's like, I think, midnight in Korea. So hopefully we can have at least maybe multiple times that work out well with people, but it's always a struggle.
We're a global community, and yeah, I mean, that's also, generally speaking, why Sneezy and I are here every week, right? We're trying to build a little bit when others may not be commonly building a bit. So it's the NA scene, I guess you could call it, or I don't really know what we define this as, but the other side that maybe gets a little bit less. So we're excited to be here at the same time sharing that, but definitely get what you're saying, Greg. Sneezy, how's it always going for you? Trying to, do you sympathize as far as trying to organize and coordinate as far as people and having spaces and stuff? You're the man.
I don't know, it's hit or miss. I don't know. The longer we're doing this, the less I worry about trying to pre-book someone to come and talk in this space, because we do so much trying just to push out the content of what's going on in the space. So the
endless amount of information.
Yeah, like the interview or the sit down it's kind of the bonus.
Right.
But like,
yeah, for sure.
The other thing too is, like, Greg, if you just held up, like, dude, this is people ask me advice in the space, and I'm sure Bubba, because I can tell he's been doing the same space at the same time for well over a year now. Like, it's just consistency. If you hold up at the same space, the same time every week, it doesn't matter what time you pick. If you're there every week, people will show up because you're there every week. It's when you try and move spaces around and start getting cute, that's, people can't keep track of what you're doing. Consistency that's the secret recipe. If you want people to start showing up to a space, just set a space and show up that time every week. Eventually, like, you won't need to reach out and have people come, because they'll be like, I want to go and talk on Greg's space on Mondays or Tuesdays or whatever time you do it.
Oh, sorry, I'm writing a tweet. I zoned out.
We appreciate the crap out of you, Greg. That's all we're gonna say. Sneezy, I'm gonna pivot really quick to something because it is already discussing a little bit about other chains, and I felt like it was warranted for us to mention it on this around how much inflow from utilizing bridges there's been.
Oh, this was the one I was going to tell you. This is the one I was talking about. This is not. This doesn't take into account everything. This is the same info essentially as Christina's bridge tweet. Only this isn't
Okay.
taking into account some of the bridges.
Exactly, which is the layer 0 one.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting though is just showing a little bit of the breakdown, even if it doesn't include. I wish it did include now that we're looking at it, but like I like the way it's visualized at least as far as the breakdown of each of the different chains and the inflow from them, from like each of the different L1s, for example, or so I don't know. I think or L2s, but I wish now that we're looking at this and mentioning it, I do kind of wish this was including layer 0. What the heck? All right, we can skip this one.
It was Neil. Shout out to Neil. It was Neil that commented saying, "I don't think you have every bridge."
It was Neil. I see it now. Okay. Well, either way, I hopefully Shiz Meta, who did this, makes another tweet mentioning the exact same thing, but now just with updated info.
I like this visualization.
Yeah, it's a good way to visualize. Just generally speaking, I think I don't know. So I mean, now that he knows, maybe he'll update it, but who knows? Do you want to jump it? You mentioned actually the 1 million NFT thing. Do we want to just pivot to that, or do we want to jump back 100%. Into DeFi a little bit? Okay, let's.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool jumping to that.
I am super excited to talk about this too. Let me find a tweet and throw it into the Aptotron. Do you want to give a little bit of a heads up of what we're about to talk about though?
Well, the Million Mint tweet is about a Million NFT mint. It's going to happen tomorrow on Aptos, and I think it's going to squash a lot of noise that we've been hearing about whether or not what it means to actually mint a million NFTs on chain. Because we're going to do it tomorrow and show everybody what exactly the parameters with which we're setting it. This is what we mean.
It's super exciting. I know a little bit of the details about it, but just the technical details because I'm an engineer. But I'm super excited about the 1 million mint because, I think we went over a couple of the possible use cases in that call about hey, ticketing for large things. It could be even something as silly as getting a placeholder for a line or a deli counter, except you don't have a million people at the deli. It's just the fact that you can mint a million things and have them all happen in a very short period of time and at low cost will be amazing.
Yeah, it is incredible. So for anyone that's just hearing about this for the first time ever, as Sneezy said, Greg mentioned as well, we're going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th. What time is this happening? I'm sorry. At 1 p.m. UTC, there is going to be 1 million NFTs up for grabs, totally for free across the aggregator platforms such as Wapal and Mercado that is working with the Aptos Monkeys team to come up and mint basically a whole bunch of NFTs, 1 million actually, exactly. There's no whitelist. It's totally public. It's totally free, and there's going to be different forms of art as well that you're going to be able to collect with these NFTs, and it's really going to be interesting to see how it goes. And Greg went into exactly some of the use cases that were touched on with the ability of having this type of scale and speed and kind of, I guess, trustlessness here to be able to execute something like this at such a scale. So that's a little bit about the details, I guess, of the high level details. It's a bit more on there, but to look forward. Yeah,
I think one of my takeaways was they were talking about in the space, which I pinned to the top, which was an awesome space. I recommend if you have time later, check out that Aptos Monkey space. There was a lot of awesome, super smart people in that chat talking about what's going on tomorrow. I lost it. Anyways, check out Archie's art. It's super dope. Oh, the takeaway. Check out Archie's art.
Takeaway.
But my takeaway was it doesn't need to be a million is just a fancy number that they're using. This application, like Greg was saying, it doesn't need to be a million NFTs. It could be 100,000 stadium tickets. It could be 3 million whatevers. It's the groundwork that's being laid with this and the
Yeah, it could
ability
be
to mint this so rapidly.
Well, that's
it
what they
could
were
be
saying
a
on the space,
million
right?
swords or whatever in a game too, like in World of Warcraft or whatever, like a million swords, a million whatevers.
Well, it also sounds like, Greg, on that space that there was like, what is like the next challenge, I guess, right? Because I think someone asked at the very end of the space, like, what's the chances that we're gonna be able to mint 2 million next month? And your guys are like, no, you can pretty much already do 2 million with this current implementation. So I guess what is like the next frontier to be facing here? Like, if we were to like, is it like something around how much in a certain period of time, or is it like a certain quantity? I guess, like, what is the next threshold to I guess that you guys are curious about when it comes to this? Because if someone was to say like, hey, I'm going to mint 100 million NFTs tomorrow, for like or for let's just say, I don't know, Ticketmaster, as you used an example in the space, like, is that something that's achievable, or is that like that's the next frontier?
Well, I'm going to answer this, and I'm going to let Pecker or Peker, I don't actually know which one it is, because he's had his hand up. I mean, so, right, 1 million is just a number. It's just a number that, it's a nice number, right? And that's why it makes sense, especially because the speed at which they can be minted. So I think it's less about how many NFTs you can mint, because even today on Ethereum, you can mint 1 million NFTs. It'll cost you probably $1 million, actually, probably more than that. And it'll take you days to mint it or whatever it is. It's very slow. So the whole point here, which I think some of my colleagues went super over people's heads with how detailed they are, is being able to do the parallel transactions and being able to mint them quickly. So that's how you can get like over 10,000 NFTs minted per second, because they're all fully parallel. And then at that point, you're not limited by just that these transactions are blocked on one another. It can be completely at the same time, high throughput, and then million is possible with 10,000 per second, because was that 1,000 seconds, something like that, at 10,000 per second. So the next frontier could be even higher throughput, even faster transactions like that. But that's just keeping in mind, mixing that with the latency plus the transaction throughput should make a interesting process.
Got it. Okay. And just to make sure, I'm just going to rephrase the parallel here. The parallel is the example that was being used when it came to a ticket, like a ticket at a counter and you're in line. Is that the
So
analogy?
I can do that analogy. So the analogy that Igor gave was that if you go to a Taylor Swift concert and you try to buy a ticket and there's only one ticket counter, that means you have to wait in line. Every single person has to wait in line. So now if you want to sell 1 million tickets, you're going to wait 1 million interactions with, and if you're at the end, it sucks for you. But most places, if you go to the stadium, they have like 10 ticket counters, right? And 10 ticket counters, you get 10 lines, and then you can do 10 times the speed, because that's technically what you would have, 10 transactions per second or per interaction, which probably takes more than a second. Then at that point, I've got 10 TPS coming through, but if I get into the longer line, you get stuck in the long line and not the short line, you can actually get screwed because you don't keep track of our line. You just, whoever gets first wins and then everyone else loses. So in this case, it actually keeps track of everyone who's gotten in any line in any order. So if you were the millionth person in line, you're guaranteed to get the ticket, regardless of which line you got into. So if someone gets into the shorter line before you, and you're the millionth and one person, well, they lose. They lose to you. You get the ticket and they don't. So the way that this is working, now consider that there's 10,000 ticket booths. So now I'm going through 10,000 lines, and it's that quick about how you can sell 1 million tickets at the same time, while still making sure that everyone, based on the time that they actually got in, can mint a ticket.
Okay, that is super helpful. Thank you for the example. Makes a ton of sense.
I needed that explained like I'm 5.
Yo, that was so good. Oh man. Okay, Greg, legend as always.
That was
this
amazing.
is a tweet waiting. This is a tweet waiting to happen. I can already see it. This is.
You can
testing
hear the light
his
bulb going
material
off. Like this is a tweet.
He's testing his material here.
Well, let's let Pecker
Go to
speak up.
Pecker.
Becker, please.
Yo, what up? I have a
GM.
What's
question
going
for
on, Elmay?
Hey guys. Yeah, I have a question for Greg. Um, is there anything like special about the way the Million NFT is set up, like when it comes to storage, uploading like the assets and metadata, and can anybody just do it on a whim? And or is it just like the transaction that's like different from the traditional one?
Yeah, so this is actually a great question. We've been working on sort of a minting platform for being able to mint large mints. And so this, I believe if you look at the contract, anyone can launch it with the same contract and make a different collection with the same minting speed. I'm not sure in the details of the image storage or anything, because I do know that there is some randomness involved around the rarities, but I haven't looked at the contract directly.
How long did it take to upload like 1 million NFT upon like the URIs?
So I'm unsure if we're sharing images or not across them. So the important thing here is it's talking about minting NFTs is minting the metadata associated with it, right? The proof of ownership, etc. stuff. I have to check if there's actually an image that's stored for each one, because I think that might be excessive. If they are mostly the same, then you just have one image and then you share it across multiple NFTs.
See, Sneezy, that's smart. Like I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, you save a lot of cost, right? Like if you
If I
have
was
a million
gonna
of the
do
same
it,
thing.
I'm probably gonna upload one image for like one metadata.
Well, now you know.
Now we know.
That is what's up.
Let's go.
That's wild.
So if anyone's curious and they want to partake in the event tomorrow, history is happening May 14th, 1 p.m. UTC. Let's go.
Oh,
Yo,
I
and
have one more question. What's the like transaction limit? How many can we mint per transaction? Is that disclosed already?
Oh, you're asking Greg, I imagine, to the limit on the marketplaces. Is that what you're asking, Pedro?
Oh no, for tomorrow for tomorrow's mint, how many can we mint per transaction?
I don't actually know. You'll have to find out.
We're gonna find out.
trial and error. People are gonna be stressing that,
I'll be there.
stress testing that.
Yes, let's go.
Like, what if somebody mints 1 million in one transaction though?
Tomorrow we will find out. Yeah, tomorrow we'll find out what will happen. All right.
I did want to say,
so
Greg talked about rarity. I did want to touch. That was, if you're not going to listen back to that space, one tidbit of alpha that did come out is the NFTs with the 1%. The ones that are 1% of the collection are the alpha. And I'm pretty sure that's the one that you pin to the top. Artsy's version, kind of Artsy's iteration of all the main NFTs.
I actually don't know which ones they look like. I haven't seen them.
Yo, I'm so hyped.
We're gonna be finding out.
Another one of those. It's another one of those. We get to take part in history tomorrow.
Yep.
Like,
We're
it's not the
living
first.
through it, boys.
Yeah,
We're
it's
here.
not the first time. Like, if you've been here for a while, it's not the first time you're going to have done something that is historic in the Web3 space. But tomorrow's definitely going to be something pretty cool. You're
Just
going
off
to
the
own
whole
one
calendar.
of a million of the first million NFT collection. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. Seriously, it's freaking insane.
I
It's
think there's gonna be a
insane.
lot of stuff coming. Like there's so much. Like so many people are cooking. So much stuff, not just built on existing that is in Web3. Like there's so many people right now trying to build stuff that doesn't exist, and the reason it doesn't exist is because it's not possible anywhere other than Aptos.
It's gonna be a fun. I think we say this every space, but it's so true. It's gonna be a fun Aptos summer. Like seriously.
Oh my god, dude!
I hope everyone's ready to have
Get your
fun
fucking
summer.
sunscreen. Get your sunscreen ready.
It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one. Do we want to stay on the topic though of NFTs while we're here? I mean, there was a few other points we had around NFTs. If we wanted to touch on them to give some shout outs.
We're gonna get around to everything. I ain't worried about it.
Let's do
bounce
it.
around.
You want to jump into
you act
the
like I need to do chapters.
Oh my gosh. Loonies, let's do it. Loonies.
Yo, that was
Yes.
crazy. Over 4,000 whitelist NFTs minted.
Yep.
That's just people saying that they are ready to mint the Loonies NFT.
That they're interested.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Dude. That's gonna be big. Dude. Again,
Wait,
nothing in this
how
space is financial advice. This is just people talking about stuff we're excited about. But Looney's gonna be big.
But dude. Yeah. I mean, that was awesome to see. That was a number I was not gonna lie, not expecting. It's not like I don't know. That was awesome. Loonies.
Wait, how many was the supply?
This is
I don't think there was.
Yeah, this is more so just to make sure that like people that were there was an open, it was like almost like open edition, right? To just make sure that they were verified to claim whitelist. No, like
soulbound whitelist NFT tokens.
Which, shame on me. I'm pretty sure I also did not to not actually claim. Although I got my ticket, I don't think I actually got into the window in time. So rip me.
Oh no, you got your ticket though.
Okay.
It's just a ticket, right? You don't have to do anything else.
No, that's just it. If you got a ticket, like you got a ticket.
Okay.
No, they really missed out on making this like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket.
Oh, Greg.
No, that's the beautiful thing about the blockchain. They're all tokenized. One could still be a golden ticket.
Actually, that's good point, Sneezy. Good point. Let's throw that the pressure when you listen back to this, because we, just take notes. Oh my gosh, super.
I don't want to derail, but do we know anything about Rarible? What is this?
Oh, we gonna get to that.
Oh, we definitely gonna talk about it.
we gonna get to that.
Okay, I'll be patient then. Yo, shout out to the Loonies. I'm super stoked. Yo, I love Wapple and Mercado. I'm a sucker for both of them. I use Snipe a lot too. I don't know. I love them all.
Snipe, Wapple, Mercado.
Snipe is awesome. Honestly.
I got you, Pecker.
Yeah. You know what? They're the trinity you need.
Yep.
It's honestly, as somebody who uses Aptos every day, I also use those three platforms every day. All for different things. They all have their benefits. They all have things that they don't do, and that's okay because they're all cooking and
they're all making the UX better for us.
Bro, I feel like Snipe shows me the way, and then I just go from where Snipe tells me to.
Yeah, Snipe's great. What about what do we got going on with GUI, Sneezy?
Okay.
There was a bit of a leak. There was a bit of a leak, or not a leak, but I'm gonna pin to the top here. The dead dog on it for Mo.
Oh,
dude, just
you're gonna start with that.
I had a call with Nomadic today, so that's a little bit of alpha on GUI. I had a good call with Nomad today.
Yeah.
I fucking love GUI, dude. It's awesome. I think GUI, genuinely, if you just think about it, like the provenance and everything, it is the bonk of Aptos. The time it came, I mean, what it did for everyone in the community, it's literally our coin, as a community. So I think, we should treat it as that.
Dude, I put a tweet out the other day because I was just, like, not frustrated, but just like I felt like people haven't been talking about it enough. Like, that token literally exists because a bunch of people who have been on Aptos got together and were like, we can do something really cool to give back to all of our homies that have been here and rode out the bear on Aptos. That's the reason that token exists. Is people in Aptos wanting to give back to the Aptos community.
Can we get an image
that's all
of
I need to
Sneezy
fucking
riding
know.
a bear to commemorate that?
I'll say less. Pecker's already got it done.
You let her to know she, dancing on the bear.
Oh, we got to get that pinned so that that gets in the recap at some point. What does your founder do? No, for real though. I can't say enough good things about GUI and the GUI team. And like you said, the
So,
no cheat, it really is the token of the people.
so should we jump into the dead dogs and all that is GUI at the moment?
We can jump into it. I know exactly as much information as everybody else in that space that they got from that tweet.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, hold on. Cheating had a really good post with a little bit more covert, almost alpha.
Okay, well, for those that are listening in, just pinned, we got the Protector of the Dead tweet from GUI, and they're saying that we offer thy status of our guardian, the dead dogs honor you, Mo. And it's basically an NFT honorary for Mo. And the NFT is pretty freaking sick. I don't know. I was pumped to see this personally. I think it looks great. Okay, but Cheaton's post. Whew, definitely more. What's this one say? Sneezy, you are muted again.
Oh my god.
I got you.
So cheat. Thank you, because some people just let me go forever. Cheating posted. What am I hearing? GUI plans to have the PFP NFT collection and see that it cannot go below the mint price. NFT vibe, perfect PFPs, and social impact all in one. While you invest, never goes to a loss. Show me a better deal if this is happening. There's your alpha.
Shows 3 NFTs.
The art is just fire.
The art's so dope. The art's so dope. And honestly, what a thing to say here. NFT vibes, perfect PFPs, and social impact all in one. Okay, first off, like, who's talking about social impact? Honestly, in Aptos, like it's a rarity. There's only a few people in this space that are talking about it. Oh yeah, Gwei and Baba.
Yep.
That's
bingo.
Awesome. Dude, honestly, super bullish and fan of anyone that's trying to bring that together. Like seriously, need more of this. It's really awesome to see.
It just makes so much sense to me, like how we're going to be able to use Web3 and cryptocurrency to affect change in the real world through charity works, through incentivizing charity works, through having funding to do things and be in situations that a lot of us would be doing, but we just don't have the avenues or the ability to.
Dude, I freaking love it. I'm loving it. And the fact that they're saying it too, like making sure that it's said is like, because their actions are aligning with what they're saying, which is like so, man, it's powerful. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, I think just as powerful as like Aptos gets, the more we will see of that. Where it's like, just think about it. The bigger the chain gets, the bigger the pie gets. Everyone can do more. But yeah, dude, I love the whole idea of like, I remember when I first got into NFTs, it was like, if you wanted to give any of your like mint funds or something like that to charity, it was like super frowned upon. People were like, yo, fuck that. And I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, we're sitting here buying pictures on the internet. And obviously, I don't think the idea is like, yo, give mint funds to charity. I think it's better like what GUI and they're doing, where they're like building, all this engagement and awareness around these things. But yeah, I think just the bigger everyone grows and the bigger we get, the more we can do. And I'm just kind of excited to see where that all goes with GUI and Baba and how we can actually help more. Because like I would love to help more with that stuff. But being aware of it, like how can we help and where can we help? But yeah, dude, I fucking love that stuff.
No, what I think you nailed there is not wanting to just give money to the existing charities. Because much like a lot of the other pillars that we talk about all the time in the non-recorded spaces that we think are defunct at this point, a lot of those charity systems are the same way. And I am so happy that in just pumping money into an existing charity where it's going to go to wherever and a small portion will go to whatever the effort chosen is. They're building the infrastructure to give back directly.
Dude, it's the
which I think
like,
is that's the meta.
dude, it's the meta, and it's also like kind of like you said, it's the underlying benefit of like Web3 infra and technology, right? Like you can peer to like go directly to that person and cut out middlemen in some sense for certain use cases, right? And this is a super powerful one to say the least, right? Like literally changing lives. So I don't know. Bullish that they're just saying that in a tweet, aligning with their actions, and like taking and like continue to kind of beat that drum, right? Because it's not like a common drum that you see too frequently in Web3. It's pretty niche and like edge case. So but when I don't know. I agree with Noshi. When you see it, it's like, how do I support more? So let's go.
And especially because it's, of course it's inspiring, because he knows that if he were to contribute into doing this, he's contributing into something that's actually going to happen. He knows it's going to happen because it's the same people we've been hanging out with, building cool shit with for the last year and a half. More than that for a lot of people. Like, it's just like, I talk about this all the time, like where we're going to be 3 years from now, where we're going to be 5 years from now. Like, we're a year and a half into mainnet, and this is the type of shit that's being cooked up already.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, half the time I feel like when we hear Greg and the dev team talk about where they're at as far as the chain and how it's moving, and like it's actually what the Aptos Foundation team is doing. They're like ahead of the DApp ecosystem and like yearning for more adoption in some sense to push the limits of what's capable. And that's like a pretty fantastic place for us to be as builders, right? Like we are like like still in a sense like trying to see dApps catch up to what's possible in Aptos in some sense, and those use cases like are building. And I don't know, it's such a great time to be a builder in this space in Aptos basically. Anyway, hype.
Don't anyway that fucking statement. Give it a woohoo or a let's go.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
like
wild. Don't give it a okay. Dude, that was so hyped until you met it at the end.
Everything's just casual, not to Trey.
Yeah, no, just kidding. Let's go. Okay. I'm just, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, I know what you mean.
It's nothing to him. Come on, dude.
bullish.
It's an amazing time.
It's
amazing time to be on Aptos. If you're not cooking here yet, get cooking. If you're not a cook, get involved and partake, because there's some people building some crazy cool stuff.
Time to enter the kitchen.
But the amount of talent from Aptos, like from just like the top to the bottom, the foundation to the community, it's actually mind blowing. Like hundreds of people who are just super talented in their own right, like and doing their own little thing. So it's super cool to be a part of all of this, and I'm super glad you guys are hosting these spaces. And I mean, think about it. Like, a couple months ago, this wasn't happening. There wasn't a space here for us, North American people to hop into. So, shout out to Treyu and Sneezy for putting this together. Can't wait to be on, episode 50, 100.
Yeah, we'll get there. I can't wait to get there though. I don't want to skip there. I want episode 19. I want episode 27, which is going to be a flop. That's just letting you know now. Episode 27 is going to be dog shit.
Obviously, episode 69 is going to be the best one ever. I mean, because it's like obvious, right? Episode. It's like a requirement for that to be the most legendary episode.
Do you have anything like in store for us in that day?
I was going to say we'll be coming to you from video, but
oh my gosh.
Yo, hey Elon, did you hear that?
Are we gonna meet Treyu? Is that happening? Is he coming to the event this year?
I told him on episode. I told him on episode 4. I think like don't make plans for the September long weekend. You're coming to Michigan.
Okay, beautiful. I'm stoked.
I have been warned. Books have been cleared.
Let's go.
Yo, I'm actually so hyped for that. It's like I think the coolest thing that I like out of NFTs that I've gotten too is like meeting people in real life. Like that's when I knew it was like real. Like, oh shit, these people are real people, and I don't know, dude. Hearing people through Twitter and stuff is cool, but like actually seeing people and talking to people and hearing more about them and their lives is so cool. So super stoked. IRL is the wave.
And shout out, I'm pumped. In August, I'm gonna get to meet Angel because we're both going to the Futurist Blockchain Conference in Toronto, and I am super hyped about that.
Send me some details about that. I'll see if I can pull some strings to get up there. That's only like 6 hours for me.
Oh, dude, I'm
That'd
not
be
even
awesome.
kidding. Yo, dude, I think this week the tickets are buy one get one. If you kidnapped Ape on your way through Michigan,
I would.
I'm just saying. Yo, I'll hit you up with the details for sure. Yo, there you go, Ape.
Beautiful.
That's the alpha right there. Toronto.
Alpha schmelfa.
Yo,
Meeting
dude,
people.
I think that would be so dope because I don't think Aptos has an official presence going there. But I think it'd be dope if we rolled up like 10 people deep just on our own. Like, Aptos
Yeah,
here.
just have a giant party at the Hockey Hall of Fame right there.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. The goofy pictures, like Toronto's big on statues. Like the amount of goofy pictures coming out of that meetup would be ridiculous.
Dude, I got my Aptos gear. Let's get it.
I think last time I went to Toronto, I did take a bunch of goofy pictures in front of a bunch of statues. But it was also like, like a foot of snow everywhere, and I'm like, why am I even here?
Oh, okay, so you came and got the full Canadian experience. Good. I don't want you coming here in the summertime and thinking this is a nice place to live.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the
Yo,
alpha.
Tourism
Meet people when
Ontario,
you
you can hit me up anytime.
Yo, do you guys drive on the wrong side of the road over there, or what?
Easy, Tiger. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Maybe
Well,
I'm thinking if I'm
you-
gonna
no,
do
she
it,
might
I'm
be
gonna
driving on the
just-
wrong side of the road.
Okay.
Just because we use
Well-
the metric system doesn't mean we drive on the wrong side of the road, okay?
Yeah, you just find yourself speeding when you go from the U.S. into Canada. 100 kilometers an hour isn't 100 miles an hour.
Oh god, no. No, meanwhile, I'm driving. I don't want to get a ticket in the States. I'm not looking for any smoke. So I'm driving 80 kilometers in the 80 miles per hour.
I don't even know what that means.
You're gonna get a ticket for that. You're driving too slow.
Whatever. They'll go around. They'll figure it out. I don't know. I find it when I'm driving over there, because I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not looking for any smoke from the American police. I just find a nice row of cars, pull in the middle, and just go with the traffic.
You're a smart man.
Don't ask Ape when I was with him. I'm like, I'm not looking for any kind of trouble.
Dude, it's just the U.S. It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine.
Don't egg him on, Greg.
Greg, you
Don't
haven't
egg him
met me. Denoshi's met me. Denoshi knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Well,
No
Sneezy,
compromising situations.
do we
How
want
do we
to
refocus
pivot?
this?
Yeah, we're gonna repivot back into NFTs. That's where we go. Where we just go back right in the NFTs where we left off.
Yo, let's give her
Just-
a reset first.
Okay.
Let's give her a quick reset. Let everybody listening
Okay.
on YouTube know what we're doing.
Okay. So if this is your first time here, welcome to Aptos After Dark, where we discuss everything going on Aptos every week, over the past week, every week, with awesome people joining us each and every week, hosted by myself, Atreyu, and Sneezy.
That's right. One thing you're never going to find here is any kind of financial advice. Not financial advice, just a bunch of cool people talking with a bunch of other cool people about a bunch of stuff we think is cool going on the Aptos ecosystem. If you're interested in anything we're talking about, get a pressure wallet, look into it, and get involved. Let's go. NFTs.
NFTs. There's a lot cooking right now. Which projects do we want to talk about? Do we want to jump into Rarible? I know.
I was going to say, Denoshi
wants.
wants it so bad. Let's give it to him.
Right.
Let's go Rarible. Coming in here,
Thank
tickling,
you.
asking who the top NFT projects are. What are they doing? What's Rarible doing here?
What is Rarible cooking right now? So, what do we got going on? What should we can we jump into?
I was gonna say, what can we say?
Well,
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Rarible's a launchpad on the Ethereum network currently, correct?
yep, I think that's a good status of where they are today. Where they're gonna be is they're on inevitably discussed on the show without being discussed in detail. Because we don't know just as much as anyone else here, other than the fact that we're bringing it up. Maybe that's enough to, that's where we put
Yeah,
the
I just
pin.
saw a bunch of I don't know what it was, if it was marketing or if it was just posts, but it was just it was a bunch of weird posts, and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know,
Bunch of posts inquiring about the Aptos ecosystem. Makes one wonder what they might be up to.
that's what I'm thinking. And I'm a founder, so I'm just like, hey, what's going on here?
I think that's the alpha.
I think that's the alpha. I think that's any of the
Yeah, we
alpha
can
you're
move
going to
on.
get out of anybody up here.
That is the alpha right there. So if you're listening in, Rarible inquiring within the NFT ecosystem around Aptos.
We're keeping a close eye on the situation, and we'll keep you apprised with information as we get it.
Touch back next week in episode 15 for more details potentially.
Ooh, yeah, let's put a pin in that and circle back next week.
Denoshi's like, no! We'll see you in episode 15, Denoshi.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we also got a bunch of other stuff happening. I mean, Rarible's pending to discuss more deeply, but we got a lot of projects still coming up that maybe we want to shout out a little bit.
Oh, shout out to Deadheads and their David Walensky 101, and hopefully that gets into Changes PFP.
Let's pin some Deadheads one-on-ones.
That's all I have to say on that, but Deadheads is killing it with the art.
Yeah, maybe you throw up all the new mints. I know there's a ton, like 6 or 7. I don't know.
Dude. Okay, so I got a little list. I don't want to I'm just going to list them off and we can try and find pins as we go.
I just pinned Deadheads.
Okay, I got Deadheads. We already touched on Loonies. I got Mizuki, Pixel Pirates, Rings by a Person, GUI, which we touched on. Loonies, I already said we touched on. And I got Pixel Bits. And I know I'm missing a bunch.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. That sounds
And
like
then
a good list.
there's I don't know what's going on with Aptosaurs. That's going to be one of, in my opinion, I think that's going to be one of the most hype mints coming this summer.
When Aptosaurs.
Over the week, there's been zero progress.
Some jackass has you pulled in a million different directions. Actually, there's a couple jackasses, and I think most of them are up here in the speaker's box.
Hey, transparency is key, Packer. Good shit.
No, I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. Yeah, also, I want to give a shout out to iAliens, cooking something with knees. Yeah, just keep an eye out.
Oh, I saw him put a cryptic tweet out about bits of aliens or something like that. Or alien bits.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Fuck around and find out.
Okay. All
Did
right.
you just
Love
tell
to
me
hear
to
it.
fuck around and find out? I don't think you know who I am.
Let's go.
Let's
go. Pixel Bits.
Bro. Oh, that's wild.
Can we get any alpha on the Pixel Pirates, dude? Because I'm stoked for the I don't know, supply maybe, dude. I'm a numbers guy. What are they looking like, dude? I want all of them.
Well,
Speaking
I guess.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Trey, check Discord DM.
Oh, I checked. I would say, Denoshi, the alpha is this week. We're going to be releasing actually a sneak peek, so we get to see a little bit about what the pirates are looking like, and I think right now everyone's kind of seeing just this NFT that I've been rocking, the Pirates NFT, or I guess you'd say the Pirates X account. So pretty freaking stoked to actually show what the Pirates are going to be looking like. So I think that's the big alpha for this week when it comes to Pixel Pirates collection size. Well, screw it, why not, right? This is the place. A little bit of alpha from Pixel Pirates is we're going to be a collection size of 8,888 pirates sailing the seas of Aptos. So it's gonna, we're pumped about it. And so we got 2 pieces of alpha from me tonight. Good job. Getting a sneak peek, stoked about that, and the supply. So Very, very
Eight,
much
eight,
so.
eight,
So,
eight.
yeah.
That's a very lucky number.
Good.
Yo, I'm stoked. You're a legend.
Let's
Let's
go.
effing go.
Pumped.
Super pumped.
Dude, I can't wait till everybody's a captain.
I can't wait
Dude,
to
I'm
see
not
the
gonna
sneak peeks.
not gonna lie. Also, last week I was saying that people were grinding for roles in the Discord. It's kind of gone to next level now because the I just pinned to the top around the level OP role. Again, everyone's trying to I think get the original pyro role right now, which is that's good. We'll just say that. But now that it's kind of been released on what level OP means and how to get it, the Discord's been kind of active within the games channel. A lot of people all of a sudden want to play Gartic, and I think it's just because they're just like able to reply a bunch of times to end up increasing their level. So just to share the level OP to capture that role in Discord, you have to get to level 15 within the Discord role, which is actually kind of challenging. So people are really in there figuring out ways to level up, and it's been awesome to see. There's been people contributing to like Jay and I created a Pixel Pirates playlist now with pirate music that's been generated through AI. It's been really fun. I don't know, a bunch of people I think trying to get this level 15 now because it's actually a decent amount of effort. So Pixel Pirates are action oriented, and we're seeing people taking action now.
Yar.
Yar, I'm hyped.
I
I'm in
fucking
there. I'm
love
about to
this
start. I
space.
don't want to spam. I don't want to spam, dude. I almost just went in there and sent 50 messages, but I stopped myself.
Yeah, don't repeat your message. You'll get a warning by a pirate that says, "Don't repeat your messages. You're in trouble now." Trust me,
Yep.
I learned that way.
People are
I'll argue with that bot for an hour.
people are figuring out the creative ways to level up, which has definitely been seems the alpha is the Gartic bot. That's the alpha. First, everyone just keeps pinging me saying, "Can we play Gartic?" And I had to think about it for a little bit. Like, why does everyone keep trying to play Gartic? And now I know. I've watched the behaviors.
Oh yeah, because like if you put in like a fishing game or something like that, you'd be amazed at how many people will just sit in there for hours a day, just playing the fishing bot, trying to level up. Yeah,
Good.
appreciate the hell out of you, Greg. Thanks
See
for
you guys.
stopping by, spending so much time, bro. I know you're a busy dude. It means a lot to all of us.
Appreciate you, Greg. This was so fun.
Yo, Greg's not just smart. He rides a motorcycle, so he's smart and cool.
Smart, cool, comes and hangs out with us in spaces. I mean,
So, it's
a
a
lot of
G-Bang,
W's.
baby. It's a G-Bang.
It's a lot of W's. What about Pixel Bits, Denoshi? Throw us a little bit. What's going on here?
Oh, alpha for alpha. I like it. He gave us 2. Are you gonna top him? Are you gonna match
no.
or are you gonna
Yeah.
raise?
I like it. God damn, dude, you guys already know my supply. No, dude. We are cooking. I think everything we're doing over here beyond like Pixel Bits is it's just all a part of this story. But we are cooking something Rift. I know Sneezy's seen a little bit about it, but it's literally completely changed. But yeah, no, we are cooking, and I think the coolest thing about what we're cooking with Pixel Bits is for the last like year and a half, people have been expecting something with Maverick in the sense of like we told them what they were getting. And Rift is more of this like mysterious thing that nobody knows about, but it's super cool and it's gonna, I think, help everyone and get more people in here and help people in ways that they can't even imagine. So I think being able to build without like the pressures of like the past is gonna be huge for us. Like we can actually build what we want to build. So that's kind of the alpha is like we're building something we think is going to be big and impactful, and it's not something that's been really built out before in the way we're building it. So it's like it's genuinely new. But yeah, dude, the art is amazing. I don't know, Pixel Bits has 10,000 supply and over 200 one of ones. I'm a one of one junkie, so I mean, yeah. And the other thing maybe is we're actually bridging from Solana to Aptos. So yeah, getting some of that action in there. But beyond that, dude, I'm just excited. I'm excited to be a part of Aptos. I'm excited to be a part of the journey and everything coming. But yeah, dude, it's not the maybe the alpha you wanted, but it's the alpha I got.
Yo, as someone who's been here throughout, I was an OG day one Mav, but as someone who's been here through most of the journey, I can't tell you how like just solidifying it feels like for the project for Pixel Bits to be coming back to Aptos. It just feels right. It just feels like the fam's back together. Like everything about it, just kudos, man. I love it. I think it's the right move, and I think the community feels it, and the community's going to rally behind that play by you guys.
Yeah, and I think I was just walking on a line of like I came from Solana to Aptos, and I didn't want to fully like abandon Solana in this way. But you know, it just over the time is like has literally changed my life. Like Solana introduced me to all of this blockchain frenzy, but Aptos really changed my life, and so I just like thought about it, and it just made the most sense to me to really double down where you are, and it's things beyond me that are external, right? Like people are chain maxis, people do not. It's like you're playing, you know, for two different teams, and people don't want to have any part of it. But beyond that, it's just like the way Aptos approaches me, appreciates me, supports me in anything I do versus anywhere else I've ever been. Aptos, Ethereum, and I've been on a lot of blockchains. Like just like using them as a community member, like Tezos, Polygon, Aptos, Solana, like everywhere, right? Bitcoin, and I've had the best experience as a user from buying things, selling things, building things on Aptos. So I mean, it just made sense to come back here and keep it going. And I want to be here on year 5 and really see what's happening, right? I know you said you don't want to skip the things, but like I'm just happy to see about tomorrow and today, and like today's awesome, but like what's going on tomorrow. And I know there's so many things that are going on like in the ecosystem, so
Dude,
it's awesome to hear about all these.
Let's go.
dude, I'd like to talk about what you just said for a second, because I think a lot of people kind of go through that same struggle, maybe not as builders, but as community members, and just that difference between where they came from and here, and just when you realize it's not about being a chain maxi and not having holdings on other chains. I think diversity is still important in this space. What I'm talking about is the time and the effort that you put in when you're in this space. And I think we can all recognize the difference between the two, because you can do whatever with your money. What really matters in this space is what you choose to do with your time and where you put that time and effort in, because that's what really grows this space. And I guess where you spend your time is where you're watering the grass, where you want to see it grow. And it's a tough decision. Like for me, because I came from Chronos, I know Ape is probably going to chime in with a story when I'm done speaking as well. But like for me, it was a little bit of an easier transition because I was frustrated where I was. Like I just felt like I was beating my head against the wall trying to do something, and nobody wanted to get on board and grow just for the sake of growing a space. And when I came to Aptos, I felt all the same things you hit on. And it was an easy choice for me. But I think Ape would relate more to you, and I'll throw to you in a second. But just it's tough. Like it can be tough to kind of lay to rest the effort that you put in one space and recognize that it's just more fruitful for you to commit your time and effort to Aptos. I don't know if it can even talk, but I figured that would get.
I was letting you go. I see Pecker had his hand up too. I was going to let Pecker do his thing before. You know how I go, so I would like to get him to say what he wants to say first.
Is my hand up?
It is on my screen. I don't know.
No, I don't see his hand up.
No, I don't see his hand up either. Jump in, a person.
No, you're good, Abe.
No, but yeah, for me it was the same thing. Like I was am still community ambassador for a project on Chronos Call Troops. I really loved just the community aspect of it, and then I always looked for something else that was kind of comparable to it, but I never really found it on the blockchain that I was on. And Sneeze would always tell me, "Hey, you got to come over and check out Aptos. You got to come check out Aptos." And then so eventually one time I did, and I found a lot of the communities were exactly what I was looking for. A lot of the people were exactly who I were looking for. Just I did a space for over 2 years, or about 2 years, over on Chronos every Tuesday and Thursday. And then the communities that I were part of were really helpful and big support of it. But then like as soon as I came to Aptos, like it was crazy how much support just was showing all around from every direction all at once. It was kind of seemed surreal. And then I thought at first, like most things, like relationships, like friendships, they're always cool in the beginning and then they kind of turn into something else. Well, this still feels the same to me. It gets better each day. New people come. I have a new experience. I get to share a new story, learn a new story, hear a new story, listen to a new story, maybe be inspired and inspire others just to become maybe better versions of themselves, or see what they can give back to the projects they belong to. That's the most important thing I think anybody here can do. Like, for example, if you're in this space, one of the most important things you can do is go down to the bottom and then like it and then share it and retweet it, because that's really cool. Another thing you can do to support anything in the space is you see all those things up there on the Aptotron. Go ahead and try and share those around and like those as well. That's how we grow. That's how we build beautiful relationships with people by helping each other, with nothing else other than the want or need to help each other. That's how we grow here on Aptos anyway. Like I said, it's just I have support every direction I look. If I have a question, I have an answer. And there's so many beautiful and amazing people from all around the world that just I'm so lucky just to be a part of this. That's the way I feel. And each day it's something new. It's something exciting. Tomorrow we're going to be part of a Million NFT mint. Probably all of us in this space, at least. What an amazing, wild thing to even think about that happening, right? I think it's going to be awesome and amazing. But this is a space where if you have dreams and you want to do something, you want to create something, you want to build something, you can. We did last week in the space, made something awesome and amazing just by hanging out together. It was really super cool. And I'm sure we'll talk more about all kinds of things in the future, but just I'm blessed to be here.
Yo, that's a perfect. That's Trey, you pinned it up top.
Yep.
I was almost like I was paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the perfect transition. Sneezy, you want to talk about That's Wild?
Yeah, that's fucking wild, bro. Yeah. So last Tuesday, we were all hanging out in a person like you's talk about community space, non-recorded space, because he switched to recording his Thursdays, and he's going to be doing some cool community stuff. Looking forward to the first one this Thursday. But yeah, we were all hanging out there, and we got off, and I got a DM from Pecker saying that he wanted to do something cool. Or he asked me if I wanted to do something cool, and I was like, well, duh. And he hit me up with, well, Pecker, do you want to, you explain. You hit me up and said you wanted to create an NFT live in a space.
Oh, there's nothing to explain.
So basically, we had our Wednesday non-recorded Aptos Tonight space, and what did we do? We did just that. Collection built live, literally from zero, concept zero, to basically almost finalized within that space. With that means coming up with what our base layers are going to be, the entire theme or idea of what this was going to be, to asking everyone, and everyone was participating. We had over 700 people participate in the generation of this idea. I don't know, Sneezy, do I just keep going here? But like, I'm happy to. It's
no, it's all good. So yeah, there was a collection, and sorry, we should preface the reason this all started and the reason Pecker wanted to create a collection in the space in the first place. This dude built an art generator that can not only do generation over one base layer through a collection, but can do generation of multiple base layers. In the space, Pecker, I say we didn't do shit. Pecker drew 4 base layers based off of what the community suggestions were, and then proceeded to make a bunch of layers that had to work on all 4 of those base layers. And we didn't get it done
were all
in
different
the space.
sizes.
Yes, and different stances, positions. Some were facing one way, looking backwards. Insane. After the space, the collection was generated, and Pecker was able to talk to Napresh at Wapple. The collection went live to mint the next day in a person like you's recorded space, where 9,999 NFTs were minted out flawlessly on Wapple's platform in 38 friggin' minutes. Yes, it was a free collection. Yes, there's no royalties. The fact that the community showed up and wanted to take part in something that they helped build, and that stuff went so fast, is crazy to me. Wapple, shout out to Napresh.
Just really quick, Sneezy, like, dude, that you just kind of skimmed over that really quick. Like, this was something we generated on the spot with ideas from over 700 people in that space. Within 24 hours, we had it on a marketplace live, no whitelist, just totally public, 0 free, and 0% royalties. Like, talk about something strictly for the community. Like, this is it, right? Like, and you just kind of like breezed over that, but that's like really like 0 cost, 0 royalties. There's like no one's behind this. Like, Pecker continues to state, and I'll just save him the effort of making sure he makes his claim, but like, no one's behind it. It's everybody behind it on Aptos, and it's for anyone to take and to shape as they so choose. And that's wild, right? Like seriously, it's 0% across the board, 100% for the community, right? Like as you kind of your tweet says there, Sneezy.
No,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say it was super awesome because Thursday in one of the 7 spaces that I had, trying to talk while that's while the mint was going on. That was absolutely cool just to see how many people were showing up to watch the numbers tick, and just to be part of it. Like that was wild. Like it was the perfect name. It's the perfect art. It was generated by the community for the community. The space that I am gonna do on Thursdays is for community. That's what it's designed for. Most likely that's where it's going to keep being designed for and keep pushing and getting some communities on there. But no, dude, it was awesome. The first space that I recorded for Thursday and the second and third, fourth spaces I recorded for a Thursday were all on the same Thursday, and they were all last Thursday. But it was amazing to be in that space and just to see the excitement and just see people posting their stuff. Just it was so much fun, man.
Yeah,
What a blast.
Shout out to Wobble, because this is, again, a community owned, released, backed project. No one behind it. We got the blue verification on Wapal. We're getting 3 times listing rewards on Wapal. Like, shout out to them for just getting what we're trying to do and for the culture and for the people.
And I guess really quick, just to nail in the coffin on this one really quick, is like this I'm pretty sure may have been another historic moment in NFTs. Like I don't think a collection was ever generated live on a space ever. And then also then that sequential day then being minted out within a space as well. So like historic, I don't know, maybe historic, maybe not, but it feels like it's definitely the first on Aptos, but may or may not be the first time ever on Web3.
To my knowledge, that's never happened anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it either.
I would love to have someone comment and say that it did happen somewhere else. And so, but like either way, like definitely first on Aptos, highly chance the first time ever in Web3.
Yeah, what up, Packer?
Yo,
Fucking legend.
Thanks, guys. And of course, this wouldn't happen if if the community wasn't there, if you guys was not holding the spaces. But yeah, I guess it was a good learning experience for me, and it was a good exposure for what I built, which is now we're using it with a Atreus collection, and it's actually meant to to be used for that, for Atreus problem with this collection. But yeah, I think one of my takeaway is we just gotta put our shit out there because there are people who might need them. I don't know if that makes sense.
So dude, I think you just hit it right on the head. If you have the capability to build something, and then show up and talk to people about it. Don't say you're going to build it and then do something and then get a bunch of money and then disappear. If you can do it, push the limits, show that you can do the work, then ask people to support you.
Dude, speaking of building, do we want to just pivot really quick to like what's like another building thing? Or I don't know. Like it feels like a good transition into what's being built, people using things to build more things. Like, is it are we jumping into Toy Machine? Tadoshi's up here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pass the ball to Tadoshi.
Hold on, I got the perfect transition. Okay, so hold on, let me cue back up. So Pecker building this art generator, I think, is a missing link that Aptos has needed for a long time. We have some amazing launch pads. I think there's just been that one missing link between the artists and them creating the art and the layers and it being something that can be a practical product for the launch pads to launch. I think that is one of those services that is going to be essential for projects coming to Aptos, just like the Aptos toy machine. Denoshi, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the Aptos toy machine?
Yo, I think it's something. So when we first got here, we had a problem with staking, and then you had Smith build out staking for everyone. And so originally we were building the toy machine just for Mavericks, right? Like use Eon, build out a toy, or like use the toy machine, have fun. But basically, since Smith kind of did that, it kind of changed like our whole way of thinking, right? We're like, yo, how about we just build a toy machine for literally every project? And so yeah, I mean the toy machine is here. I mean it's been tested, battle tested. There's been over like 40,000 plays. Yeah, dude, it's here. It's working. I had some call with Nomadic today about some certain machines coming soon. Just working with all the different projects in Aptos to actually get a machine. So if you have a token, it's a lot easier. But a lot of projects don't have tokens. But yeah, the toy machine's dope. It's super cool. I think it's a way just to reward anyone in your community who puts time in, right? Like staking, you earn your token. It's free for that token.
And you guys,
Yes.
you guys just had another round with the Aptos toy machine from Mavericks, right?
Yeah, it went live like 2 days ago, and it's been going down, and NFTs have been taken and filled back up. It's been consecutively live for like 4 days now, 3 days
So
now.
if anyone does want to play, we'll have the pin tweet and the link for you to kind of jump into and test it yourself and have some fun if you so choose. So it's live, it's out. Get on in there and have some fun with it because it is cool. You got NFT balls still left, or what do we got?
Yeah, we got some balls in
Let's
there. I think
go.
there's like 4 or 5 thousand balls, some NFTs, Mavericks, and whatnot. But yeah, dude, I think it's awesome, and just trying to roll it out to actually other projects for them to actually utilize as well is it's pretty cool. But yeah, man, I think it's time for some other machines to come. But yeah, just think about it. Like eventually, every project you hold and stake an NFT in and earn some type of token, you'll eventually be able to use that token to like win real rewards and whatnot. Just on that front, right? Like that has nothing to do with what your community and your like founders are building. So I think it's huge. It's awesome.
Extension into the ecosystem for everybody. We're basically like open source tool, not open source, but we're basically providing tooling for everybody within the ecosystem, and that's freaking awesome.
Dude,
Yeah, I mean, and then other than that, real quick, I can say we're testing Sparks right now, and I've had no issues so far. Sneezy, hop in there, put in some bids. I have some bids live, I think, on my Mavericks. I need to check. But yeah, dude, we're just shipping. We're testing things with people. We're shipping things. But it's exciting. It's a new vibe. It's a new era. So it's cool.
honestly, I think you just hit it on the head. It just feels like we're coming into a new era with Aptos NFTs. Like it really does feel like we're on the cusp of breaking through one of the barriers that we're gonna have to break through. Yeah, what up, Becker?
Yeah, I just want to say that if you want something on the chain, if you want like an app or a system on the chain that some people's already building or may have not been building yet, and you got no patience for it, build it yourself.
Simply for you to say.
Simply said, well articulated, and for the builders that want to build, there's plenty of opportunity to take action. That's for sure. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are just doing exactly what kind of Pecker said there, like taking action to what they want to see and seeing success with it, right? Like speaking of like teams that are seeing success, and we kind of touched on GUI to start with. I think it's worth also just highlighting a little bit quickly here with Harborgate and what they basically were able to do within their, with a team that's building their
50K unique wallets in like hours.
Yeah. I mean, this is another kudos, right? Like team wants to build something, team goes and builds something. They see a problem and they're solving it, right? And that's awesome to see. And then it also is really awesome to see the reception from community. Like 50, yeah, like you said, ZZ, it's freaking insane. 50,000 addresses partaking in the test, and to basically
not
do
bad
this,
for a dead chain. That's all I'm saying. Let's GUI. Not
let's
bad for a
GUI
dead
right.
chain.
Dude, that's insane. That's freaking nuts. So Harborgate crushing it. I mean, quick shout out to Harborgate, all-in-one token toolkit on Aptos. Create, airdrop, sell, invest tokens effortlessly by the Aptos Monkey team. So honestly, really great to see that. Like worth shouting out. That happened earlier last week. But again, within the past week, this has occurred.
I think that minted out while we were live on Monday. Or
there we go.
Out, but the cap was reached while we were live in the space.
That's insane. So here we go. 1 week later, it minted out basically just like that. That's nuts. I don't know. it's like awesome to see the teams continuously building, and the people that are receptive and partaking in what's actually being built. And I think that was another, just to maybe tie the loop here with.
Oh, you just pinned. I sent this to you because this doesn't tie into anything in particular other than if you're not just active on the Aptos ecosystem, you're missing a huge opportunity. Because
well,
Smith asked for 7 dApps, and like you go through the replies to this tweet, and like just about anything you can be doing on chain right now, there's very few of the dApps that have their own tokens. I'm not even talking about farming. I'm just talking about just being involved in the ecosystem right now and taking part in different dApps, different lending platforms, different staking avenues. Like this ecosystem is rife with opportunity for potential airdrops in the future. Just from being here.
That's what I was kind of getting to, right? Like, the community is like they're showing up, right? And like that's only making people want to build more, right? Like in some sense, like when you build something, you hope to have people use whatever you're building in some regard, right? And the fact that people are showing up, and then like there's this like little subtlety here, which is actually a pretty massive subtlety, but I don't want to like overplay the idea of airdrop basically. But we are in Web3, and if there isn't a token associated with a product or protocol, like there is a chance that there could be, but like, it doesn't mean there's a guarantee. And, I think that's, people are showing up, and stuff like this, where you get a tweet from Smith from Aptos Monkey asking for the 7 top apps are without a token, just drives more people to, like, it drives the feedback loop, right? For people to then continue to use the products and protocols that people are building, because that is that like reward mechanism in some sense that you never know. Just from using a tool, you never know. There's countless times where people's potentially lives have been changed or impacted from just using a product or protocol, thanks to being it on chain. That was my tie-in.
100%. And that's what I'm getting to, is it's not even about the farming. It's if you're active on chain right now, there's a good chance that in the future, you're going to get rewarded without having to do all the farming BS that everyone's doing. Like, just from organically interacting with most of the Aptos ecosystem dApps, there's a high likelihood in future that you're just going to be rewarded one day. I think that's the big thing, because like I have nothing against farmers. I'm not one that's going to go out and do a whole bunch of stuff just because I'm told to. That said, if you're going to reward me for doing the stuff that I'm going to already be doing, let's go.
What you got, Pecker?
Yo, I just want to back Zizi with what he said about farming. I think like right now, Aptos is not the blockchain to farm because everybody's holding smart money. Unlike other chains where they can splurge like whatever, Aptos is very critical with what they like put in their pockets, I guess, which is a good thing because of how small the community is and how tight knit it is. But yes, and that actually shows with the mint of That's Wild, because we didn't do any like marketing with That's Wild, but we minted out like almost 10K NFT. Yeah, it just goes to show like how you should be farming. You should be farming smartly, and yeah, I did like a giveaway for That's Wild for people who didn't get to mint, and I told them not to drop their like address in the comment and DM me instead. And the reason for that is that because I wanted to get to know you on like at least a personal level. To I know you're not a bot, but at least I want to know why you're in Aptos or how you came across with like That's Wild and shit like that. And yeah, I did meet quite a few people, quite a few interesting people on doing that. Yeah, I think you just have to farm smartly, make real connections, and you're really gonna like make your project fly. Because I've been seeing a lot of project that's been going on live on Aptos, and they're not doing very well, I think. And most of that it's because they're trying to adapt, I think, what the other chains are like traditionally used to. But yeah,
Sure.
it's a reachable community. Like people will talk to you, so why don't you do that?
100%. Gotta meet people where they're at. And I mean, the farming aspect of it, I think Sneezy hit it on the head for sure, on just like how just using stuff could benefit you. And Pecker, I 100% agree. It's like creating connections is ultimately one of the best means of farming. I guess you could put it like the actual you're not farming connections, you're farming friends, and that's like something forever in some sense, hopefully. So I think that's awesome that you just try to meet people through what you normally would be doing for different means. So love that mentality. But Sneezy,
Yes, sir. I
do you mind?
was going to say, oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Oh, I was
No. I'm
on
about to
on
pivot. So
okay, I was just going to say on the farming topic, like one of the only times I farmed was for Portal Coin, and the money was inconsequential. Like I didn't get a whole lot, in my opinion, for the amount of time I put in. My big takeaway was there was about 7 to 10 people that I met through farming Portal Coin that are solid people that I still talk to this day. So not to say like there are still good things to come out of that whole ecosystem. I just think it's a different mindset and mentality. Like you're doing that for a purpose. Whereas what we do is it's longer term. It's the staying power that I think a lot of people that hang out in our spaces are after, not that quick buck. And now is a great time to pivot.
now is a great time to pivot with 5 minutes left on the show. Just to always got to touch a little bit on gaming within Aptos because honestly, the Aptos ecosystem I think is ripe for gaming. We talk about it a lot, and it's really great when we do see like basically studio teams come together and actually show what is possible through even the graphical interface, or just on-chain gaming itself. So I think with the post we just threw up there with Convival, we talked about this before. These guys, this team is for sure just continuing to show that we don't know anything about their game as far as on-chain mechanics are concerned, but boy, are they building a beautiful looking game. So they lean a little bit further into the other side of the spectrum, I'd say. Maybe everything is on-chain, who knows, but it looks to be a tactical shooter, and like their graphics and the way that their interface and everything that they're building looks like AAA. I think that's a really like kind of like, you see this commonly within the gaming teams that everyone's got like some person that's a AAA person that they like to throw into their bio. But like, to be honest, like this is like it's looking really incredible, smooth, and it's super exciting to see that they're coming to the Aptos ecosystem. So pinned up some of their new gameplay footage that they shared, and yeah, I mean it's Warfront Assault is the way they're calling it. I'm super excited to get in on this one. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to these guys. I haven't played the game. I haven't tested it at all. But based off of the sneaks that they're releasing, this is when I've talked to you about gaming and how I need a game that is a good game that is equivalent to what is currently available for me to play. They look to be delivering that to the point where I'm excited to play it. Whatever their blockchain integration is, I'm just happy that I'm going to be able to play this and interact with Aptos. Whether it's skins, whether it's guns, whether it's all on chain, they're building the type of thing that gets me, the non-gamer, like hyped to play that.
Right? Yeah, dude. It's coming in with art. They got a great art team for sure. The mechanics look smooth, and I mean they also mentioned they've got some big news in this tweet. Our first arcade game is about to drop on Aptos for all you smartphone users out there. So it also hits you, Sneezy, on the mobile side. So I know you're an avid, you would lean further into the mobile gaming rather than PC. So I don't know, they didn't disclaim which like Play Store they're going to be in, whether it's Apple or Google or insert some other marketplace.
I got my iPhone and my Jambo.
You're ready no matter what, dude. You're ready no matter what. So I don't know.
Let's go.
Wanted to throw a little bit of hype and flowers to these guys as bringing a little bit of excitement as far as the gaming ecosystem is concerned for them. So anyway, I guess I mean that's the big one I think that's coming out with gaming.
They've got a lot of hype.
Metapixels, don't they have something coming?
They've got their mobile game's supposed to be landing in June, I think, and then their full RPG
where they were
in September.
running around. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing.
That's
oh my
supposed to be
gosh, dude.
September.
Beauty.
If they're still on the same time frame, that should be landing September, October.
Dude, so
But
excited for that.
we should be getting a mobile game from them in the next month or two.
And we talked about it last week. I don't think Mud's in here right now, but man, Undying City always shout those guys out, always supporting us in any way they can. And I mean, that game got harder.
They made a big partnership. I forget the name. Hold on, I'll find it. But with an AI firm.
Yeah, that game got way harder.
Way harder. But yeah, they did. What was the? They got the new.
I'm almost there.
Wait, what's it? It's a Tensro. Tensro. Yeah, Tensro.
That's it.
Tensro, making digital assets compatible with AI. So, like, that sounds very cool.
Don't know what they're going to do with the integration, but good for them. I know that team's constantly cooking. They're constantly shipping updates. Again, they're the type of project I talk about, pushing their product out and building based off of what they can do.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Man, I can't, yeah. Anytime we can get a chance to talk about gaming, and I can't wait to see more games popping up. That's inevitable, basically. So I know we're even missing out, I'm pretty sure, talking about others right now, but yeah, dude.
Dude, we only got 2 hours. There's no way we can hit everything going on in Aptos in the last 7 days.
We're definitely trying here, without a doubt. So we definitely miss a fair bit on our agenda here, but either way, hopefully everyone got a little bit of value, a little bit of education, a little bit of updates, a little bit of alpha, to catch up on everything that's happened over the past 7 days. And let's just not forget about that, epic ecosystem statistics that we're sharing as well. So I don't know, appreciate the living hell out of every person that's in here, hanging out with us for the entire space, and everyone that's listening back on YouTube. Really appreciate everyone that's just been vibing with us throughout this space on episode 14.
No, facts. So many legends joined us tonight. We had Greg up here to start the episode. I can't shout him out enough. Just one of the biggest Giga Chads on Aptos, taking time out of his day to come hang out with us. Truly makes this space special. But you know what really makes this space special? Every single one of you. Whether you're here in the space, whether you're listening back on YouTube. No point in us doing this if you guys didn't listen back and take some value from it. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're building, keep building. If you're supporting builders, keep supporting builders. If you're creating art, keep creating art. Keep pushing boundaries. That's what we do here. Shout out to the Loonies. We ditch limits. Let's go. We'll see you guys. What day is it today? Monday. Tomorrow we'll see you at the Spook Space. And then we'll see you at a person space. Talk about community. Have a fantastic night, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yarr.
Yarr!
Yarr!